welcome back to my channel. I am Danny, your hypothalamic amenorrhea and fertility coach, and I'm here to talk to you about how to solve your problems. What that means is really figuring out what is your biggest issue, because as we often say in hypothalamic amenorrhea and fertility issues, they're actually easy to solve. So why are you having so much trouble with it? Why can't I figure out if this really applies to me? Why can't I figure out why I'm not making progress? Why I'm not seeing signs of hormonal activity, yada, yada. So I'm gonna give you my 3 main strategies for figuring this out. So the first way to solve your problems is to decide that it's no longer a problem. I know. So an example would be like our classic, I'm afraid of weight gain, right? And so I'm not going to make any progress. I'm not going to gain weight. Or it might be, hey, I feel like I'm getting too old and I'm just running out of time, right? These are statements. I don't want to gain weight. I don't want to be pregnant when I'm old. I don't want to stop getting attention for my athletic abilities or my body. These are real struggles. I'm not saying anything about them, right? These are common examples. There is a world where you can decide that they don't matter anymore. So you could say, hey, I don't want to be 40 when my kid is 10, right? But you're already 30. There's nothing you can do, right? So let's stop worrying about it. Hey, I don't want to gain weight, but you might have to for your health. So let's just do it. Right? So of course, this is, for the most of us listening, this isn't going to be quite so easy, but when we can, quick question, what would it look like for you to just not care? There are very few people where it's going to be the flick of a switch like that. And for those of you who that does work for, you're going to recover real quick, right? You're not going to need to hire me. But so now let's move on to number 2. When you cannot just decide to not care anymore, you have to understand why you have this problem. So I'm looking at my notes here. I can't eat more or I won't eat more. I can't gain weight or I won't gain weight. I have a fear of less self-value or worth. I have moral reasons to not gain weight, to not eat more, right? Eating more and resting more to me is associated with being lazy, or to eat meat is, against my beliefs about how animals should be treated, or against my religion, or, how I feel about just like the treatment of animals in general. So I don't eat them. Really getting to the bottom of why these things are your problem is the only way to be able to be the person who decides it's not a problem anymore, really. So to get there, you're gonna have to really dig deep and be like, okay, well, but why? So, and this means, this is like dig into the layers, okay? So I don't want to eat more. Well, why? Because I feel uncomfortable. Okay, well, why? Because when I feel uncomfortable and bloated, my clothes feel tight. Okay, and why does that matter? Well, because when my clothes fit tightly, I feel unattractive and less valuable. And why do you feel unattractive? What makes you feel less valuable? Well, I get less attention. I look less like the models in the pictures and the videos. People don't praise me for that. Okay, well, why does that matter? Well, because I need those things to get like the check marks that I'm doing the right thing and that I'm making moves in life. I'm on track, So like, and I can ask why again. So we really need to understand that, so then you can be like, oh wow, okay, yeah, this is entirely about what other people think, and I can actually just solve this by getting clothes that fit, or making some reviews and adjustments to my nutrition just to check if it's what I'm eating that's causing the bloating. Or I can backtrack and see, okay, well, how many weeks or months have I been experiencing the bloating? Oh, I'm seeing on the internet a lot that this is a temporary part of going through recovery, so maybe I can just wait it out and I'll revisit this exact question again in a month or 2 months. You'll be able to see it for what it really is, as an emotional reaction and something that you are more in control of, as to whether or not You want to decide that it's no longer a problem and there is a step that you can take. But we often feel like, oh, I'm having this emotional reaction and there's nothing I can do. And there's no steps I can take. When sometimes the step is just understanding what it is and then being like, okay, yeah, I think this is temporary. I haven't been working on this for as long as I thought. This is common occurrence and I'll get out the other side and I'll have the result that I want, and that is worth it. Okay, the last one is something new that I've been working on with clients. I have a name for it, and this is what's going to help you if step 1, choose something different, and step 2, understand the problem doesn't help, right? So you feel like you understand the problem, but you still feel really hung up on the problem, right? You're like, well, I still, I admit that I care a lot about that, right? So I can't just decide it doesn't matter. Okay, totally valid. So what I've been introducing with people is something that we call the morality versus reality paradigm. So examples, like we've been using already, is that you believe something, right? I shouldn't have to weigh above X amount to have a period. Like that just seems silly. We've all thought that. I don't want to be pregnant at 36. I just don't want to be pregnant at 36. I just feel like mums or myself as a mum should be pregnant below the age of 35. And I don't, like we said earlier, I don't eat meat for moral reasons. And so it's hard for me to get enough protein in and to get the minerals and nutrients from animal fats and animal proteins. But I believe this with my heart and soul because of what I've seen out there. I've seen animals being abused. I've seen how bad it is. And so I should not have to make these changes, right? Okay. So you believe something, and that is your morality, right? You have morals around this. And although you might be like, oh, well, there's no morals around being 36. I'm just saying I don't want to be old. Nope, there is. You are putting a moral because you are saying that being a younger mom is better for whatever reasons you have. So you're putting morals on it. You're putting morals on your weight, being a smaller weight and being healthier is better than being a bigger weight and being healthier. It's all moral value. So the next, now that we've identified your morality behind the belief and the problem, is the understanding, of course, the reality of the problem. The reality of your morality, if you feel like you shouldn't have to weigh a certain amount, right? I should not have to weigh more than 58 kilos, more than 48 kilos. I should not have to weigh more than that to get my period back. Like, it's silly. All these other people are weighing whatever they want and doing what they want to do. So the reality is that your body doesn't care about that. Your body didn't get the memo. It's not aware that you think that you feel that way. It has absolutely no idea that society has said 58 kilos at 5'4" is the perfect size. And so thus you should be able to make this work. Your body has no idea, it doesn't know about that, it does not care. Like, it's so neutral that you're putting your morals onto your body and then confused, right, about the problem. Let's take it to the I don't want to be an older mom example. We said this one earlier. I don't want to be 30 when I'm pregnant because, I just see myself as like a younger mom. I don't want my daughter to be 10 when I'm 40, or I don't want to be 35 when I'm pregnant. I don't want to be, because I don't want to be 45, or I don't want to be 40 when I'm pregnant because I don't want to be 50. You know what I'm saying here? There's two things here. One, if you're already over 30, it's done, right? Like, if you're really gonna nickel and dime with me, like as your coach, if you're really gonna nickel and dime with me about like the year, like maybe you want to try like fertility treatments, or maybe you want to, just kind of die on the hill of you don't have time to let your body heal. Well, if you're already in your 30s, it's too late. So you're already gonna be in your 40s when your kid is 10. What's done is done. If you don't care if you're 43, I don't care if you're 45. It's not a huge difference, and especially like what if you get pregnant, if you can slow down to speed up, you're likely going to get pregnant in the same year, right? You might say your birthday's in January, like mine. You might turn 35 in January, be pregnant by June. You're still gonna be 35. And by the time your kid's born, you're still gonna be pretty much same age. So that allows us to see how like, okay, you have this moral value. Here's the reality. We're already here. And I'll tell you what, just deciding it's not a problem anymore, that's your bet. That's your best bet, my friend. And then understanding why that's a problem for you, like why being an older mom is a problem for you, is only going to help you get over it sooner. And that's like, I shouldn't have to wait X amount to have my period back is like the most popular problem, right? Like, I'm just confused because so-and-so didn't have to, and my sister didn't have to, and I've seen all these other people, and like, it just seems odd. I'm like, yeah, it only seems odd because you're only going off what you value and your morals. Like, you cannot justify gaining weight because it goes against your moral values. But the reality is your body doesn't care. Just doesn't care. So if you're taking actions as to exercise more to avoid weight gain, or you're eating enough calories, but like just enough and like no more. Like, I heard 2,500 calories, and so I'm gonna eat 2,500 calories and I'm not gonna go over at all. Like, your body doesn't care about that. And so when you feel like, oh, why isn't it listening? Why is it not doing what I want? And we look at this expectation that you're holding it to it, it's clear now. Like, we're seeing that now. And you know, like the meat example, just trying to stay consistent with the examples the whole way through. I get it, dude. I get it. You know, I've seen Super Size Me too. I've seen all the docs on the industries. You know, I get it. I truly do. My family, we buy a whole pig, we buy a whole pork, a whole pig, we buy a whole cow. You know, we spend actually a lot of money on meat quality, and we visit the farms that we go to because we really truly do care. So I do understand that. I even understand that, you know, there's an impact, like not just on animal welfare, but like economically on the environment with the processing of meat. But guess who doesn't care? Your body does not give a damn. And you have been told your entire life that your body is a mirror and reflects all that is your worth and that is good and is valuable. And none of it is true. What your body needs to be healthy and to be successful and to operate at its full capacity is not the same as what you have been told that it needs. So we need to quickly do a check of all of our beliefs and all of the things that stop us from taking action in recovery, and check it against the morality versus reality paradigm. Am I making a moral belief? Like, am I making this decision or not, no decision, based on a moral belief? And is it affecting my reality, which is I'm trying to get my period back? And that's the paradigm. So decide it's not a problem. If that's hard, understand why it's a problem, and then try again. And if that's hard, check your reality versus morality. And this is a really great journaling exercise that you can do, where you just list out and audit all of your beliefs around food and exercise. This is an audit that we actually do inside of the Restore program. So that's the hasociety.com/restore. We take you through an audit of your foods, and then your diet, like, or your food beliefs, your exercise, and then your exercise beliefs, and so on and so forth, to really get to the bottom of like everything that's a problem for you here, you know? And the goal here is that by the time you come out of it, you feel completely on top of and fully understanding why you're having the roadblocks that you're having. And then it's easier for you to make these changes and get the outcome you're looking for. So I hope that this was helpful. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel. It means the world to me if you subscribe. And if this was helpful, let me know. And heck, if it wasn't, let's talk. You can work directly with us. We take clients through a year-long process, but it's 4 months intensive at the front. Within that first 4 months, our goal is to get you your period back, get you pregnant if that is your goal, and then you have access to us as your coaches for the rest of the entire year, and lifetime access to the HA Society. So if you feel like you can't sort these problems out on your own, come talk to us and we'll do a free strategy call with you just to figure out if working with us is the right thing to do, or if taking a totally different path is the right thing for you. So you can check that out at the hasociety.com/coaching, or like I mentioned earlier before, the Restore program might be a great fit for you. That one's self-paced and also comes with the HA Society. Bye.